Hey everybody, happy Monday. It is Monday, January the 13th. It's a little late that this is coming out in the day, but I'm still uploading it on the 13th. And it is a full moon in Cancer today. So if you kind of follow that, then the full moon is all about releasing, letting go. And, Cancer is all about, feeling your emotions and moving through that. So, maybe do some journaling, kind of see what comes through. It's kind of a great way to start the year of like, what do you want to release and move forward with? So make some moon water. Basically, it's just putting water out on your windowsill that the full moon can kind of absorb into, and just kind of a manifesting high vibrational thing to do. I don't know all the intricacies of it because I'm not really good at rituals and all that stuff. But I am here to do a card reading. I am going to pull 2 cards so you can feel into card 1 or card 2 to receive a message, or you can ask a question and see what comes through. I will be using the Intuitive Whispers Oracle for the reading today. And before I do that, just to first say thank you. We launched a new reading, a new service, very similar to the other readings, but we've kind of noticed that some of the readings have gone into this more of coaching or therapeutic kind of direction. And so we changed up the reading, and so now I am offering soul guidance sessions. They run from 60 to 90 minutes, just depending on how much comes forward and how much during the session we are talking about what came forward and next steps on what to do. And then also created follow-up sessions. So those would be more for integrating, or if needing further support with what came through, then there would be follow-up options for follow-up sessions to move through that. But you guys have jumped on it. There's a promo price or an introductory price, so $155 Canadian for the month of January if you book it book a session in January or beyond. And so I ended up opening up additional spots because it was booked up for all of January and it was booked up for most of February. So I've opened up some additional spots, and I'm just like loving connecting with everybody. It's just been such an honor, and it just lights me up, this work. So thank you. So there's that. All right, well, I'm gonna pull card 1. Let's see. Ooh, that's kind of loud. The Precious Present Moment. All right. Okay, so it really feels like the message for you right now is, whether there's something you are worrying about, whether there is, worrying about something in the future to happen, or maybe you're moving through something and it's consuming your mind, and you can kind of like spiral and get ahead of yourself. Like, I am number one culprit for that. I have lived in the what if space majority of my life. What if this happens? What if this? What if this? What if this? Or creating scenarios or stories or whatever, and when you have no realization of if it's true or not. And so this is really where Spirit's kind of reminding you or asking you to pull back. So whatever you are maybe ruminating on, whatever you are maybe worrying about, to kind of, take a step back and take some deep breaths. So this actually came up in a recent client session where it was like, stop and take, 3 to 5 deep breaths in. When you start to notice that your mind starts to spiral, and taking that moment to take those deep breaths in, it's really going to snap you out of it to calm the mind long enough so that you can ground your energy and recenter. And even in that sense of like doing that exercise, it even opens up space for your guides to come in to kind of support you or give you those reminders of like, wait a minute, I have no idea if XYZ is going to happen. So why am I going forward and allowing myself to feel that worry of something that is completely fictional at this point? And so really kind of draws you back to this present moment so that, there's not this wasted energy of worrying about something that may never, ever, ever come to fruition. I think, all of us can sit here and think of a time that we were like, oh my God, what if this happened? And what if this goes this way and this way? And it's never transpired. And, I know I've, done it too many times for big things and for little micro things. I'm like, as a banker, when I would meet clients, there'd be like, I get in my head about like, oh my gosh, they're going to come in here and they're going to, want to talk about this, this, and this, and I don't know how to do this, and blah, 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 blah. I'm like, ooh. And then they get in there and it literally is the opposite. And then I would get mad at myself thinking, why the heck did you just waste all that time worrying? Like, what a waste of energy. And so, whatever is kind of like coming up for you, again, it feels like for maybe it's you've received bad news and you're worried about what the future holds, or what's happening in the collective and around us, and whether it's political or environmental or whatever it is. Again, like kind of like bringing yourself back to this present moment and being like, at this moment right now, am I safe? Is everything okay? Like, and kind of just reminding yourself to come back into that space. Because that also, like, your frequency shifts when you are kind of existing either in the past or in the future too far. So that's what they're reminding me. It's not just the future, Allison, that, not being present can also be living in the past. So ruminating over things. So whether that's a breakup, whether that's, a job loss, whether that's a conversation that you just had with somebody and you were like, oh, why did I say that? Like, those conversations where you just wish a big hole would open up and suck you in it. And you're like, I'm so embarrassed. Those times where you go to the movies and they're like, enjoy your movie at the concession stand. And then you're like, you too. And then you're like, what an idiot. Those type of things. But it's like, whether we are living too much in the past or in the future, trying to bring yourself back to this present, because this present brings peace. Like it brings peace within you, and solidarity, and it's truly what you have control over is in the present. I hope that helps. I hope I wasn't rambling. Yes, I was rambling because that's what I do. And that's okay. All right, card 2. And this is why I can only choose 2 cards, because I ramble and I take too long. They're such pretty cards. Your body is like a book. Interesting. So I'm instantly hearing part of this message. I don't know where this message is landing, but I instantly heard that so I'm trying to put it into words what I'm seeing and feeling. So listen, so your body, listening to your body and what you feel, it literally dictates to you what are you trying to say, Allison? So I think what it's kind of saying is we tend to live up here. So this kind of even goes with the first card, in the sense of like spiraling, being in our head, getting ahead of ourselves. And this card is really talking about how anchoring into your body and feeling your feelings, like feeling what it feels like in your body, because your body will never lie. So if, let's just say, you're talking to a potential romantic partner and you're going to go on a first date, and you get those like nerves and stuff like that, but then there's just something that maybe just feels off, like in your pit of your stomach. But then you're like, oh, you just want to ignore it because you really want this date to work and this person seems really nice and I'm just going to focus on all of these beautiful things this person said. But your body is saying the opposite. Your body is kind of being like, no, this doesn't feel good. This is where Spirit is really wanting you to listen to what your body is saying, and that your body holds this wisdom, and it really is this kind of like compass of understanding like what's coming forward, when our brain can get in the way and our ego can kind of block what's coming forward. So again, that exercise of taking deep breaths to kind of center yourself and anchor yourself, and really like ask your body and ask it whatever, like, why is this a good thing to do, and see what your body does and feel into it. Oftentimes, Mandy's been really good with this, with, asking her children, like when they're like, I don't feel well, or, ooh, this made me feel like this. And it'll be like, where did you feel this in your body? Because when you can connect it to one of the chakras, then that's really telling about where this kind of root is coming from, where the blockage is, what it's affecting. So, if you feel something like in your heart space, then it's something that, I feel like a lot of anxiety can hang out here, like energy can hang out in the heart space. And it's just telling of like how it's affecting you, whatever that situation is, how it's affecting you. If you feel it like a lot of the time in your like solar plexus, so just below your rib cage, in there, and that is like your self-worth. So if you're feeling that, I think we will often like describe it as like, oh, that was a gut punch. That's really kind of talking about like hitting your solar plexus. It's a gut punch because it's hitting your self-worth, your worthiness. And so then you can kind of go from there to be like, well, why is this affecting my self-worth and my worthiness, and understand what this trigger is. And so, your body is like a book, like it's really saying like there's a story to be told. And there's a story held within your body, and we just have to listen to it. We even, dis-ease. So like when somebody gets ill, or, dis-ease within the body. So very much like everything is energy. And this is one of the things that we teach, is that when we have collected energy, so like suppressing feelings over something, when we're suppressing emotion, we're kind of like pushing it down into our body. And when we kind of compact that, it doesn't go anywhere unless we are, having tools to release this built up energy. And what happens is that then that can transmute into dis-ease within the body. So creating havoc within the body. Really like your body is this tool, this vessel that is so intuitive and is constantly speaking to us and working with us, but we get so stuck in our head that we just don't hear it. So if you feel, so it just kind of feels like whoever's picked this card to really focus on this week, to really kind of like anchor into it, even if it's just for the practice of it, so that when there's something really important that you need to hear, you're able to recognize it. So that is it. I hope you have a great week, and I will see you next week. Bye.